Alright guys, and welcome back to the F1 2017 career. We're here for part 11 for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Qualifying is about to get underway very shortly, although it might say practice when I go onto the laptop here. And of course, if you missed the last race in Silverstone, there is a link down below in the description for that. And we are driving for Red Bull Racing. Now, our teammate is not going to be Max Verstappen, because he is our rival. We have taken Max Verstappen's place at Red Bull. But we're only 11 points off the lead, off the top of the championship. Where are the standings? There they are. We're only 11 points off the top of the World Drivers' Championship, with just over half a season to go. Sorry, my apologies. So yeah, I'm gonna get on with qualifying, guys. So I will see you how we do in qualifying as we, There's a few. We've got Max's engine allocations here, so not to worry, guys. Let's get on with the Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying. It's qualifying time, guys, here at the Hungarian Grand Prix circuit, the Hungaroring. I would try to pronounce the actual name for it, but I'm not really sure I can. So yeah, we're here for qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's dry, and there we are in our lovely Red Bull suit. Look at that. And we have a new rival, of course, since we've taken Max Verstappen's seat. And our rival is Daniel Ricciardo. Haas are working on the back of Grosjean's car there. I don't know if he's got a problem or anything, but there's a Sauber of Pascal Wehrlein. So qualifying. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this qualifying session. And there's Esteban Ocon making his Formula 1 debut yet again here in Formula 1. So yeah, let's get on with qualifying. Such as the differential, the brake. Okay guys, coming around the final corner here to start our first qualifying lap for the Red Bull Racing Formula 1 team. And I waited for, there's like 5 minutes left in the session and nobody's set a time yet. That's unusual, that is. I might just restart the session just so hopefully everybody else can set a time as well, 'cause it seems a bit cheaty, doesn't it? Because I think the only couple cars out here now are me and a Sauber, and a couple Saubers. Yeah, Sergio Perez, our old teammate, has set a lap time, so that should be sound. But are any of the championship rivals setting a time? But we've run deep into there. But what's new on Sergio Perez? We're normally 6/10 quicker. Around the final corner. Coming across the line, DRS wide open, up to the maximum gear as we take pole position, only just though. Fantastic, yep. I'm in P1 and that should be enough, I think, guys, unless anybody else sets a time to take pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Okay then, guys, so qualifying has been completed and I'm happy about P5. We're just a place behind Lewis. We might be nearly a second off Kimi Räikkönen's pace, but we didn't do more than one lap. I don't think I'm ready for this Grand Prix, to be perfectly honest, with this new car. I should have done more practice with it, but yeah, P5, and we out-qualified Daniel Ricciardo on his Red Bull debut, so absolutely fantastic, and we shall get on with the Hungarian Grand Prix. Here we are, guys. It is race day here in the Hungarian capital of Budapest, or just north, or just around Budapest. I don't really know whereabouts it is, to be fair. Of course, the championship standings were 11 points behind Lewis Hamilton, but that could all change today. But it's a Ferrari lockout on the front row. Räikkönen ahead of Sebastian Vettel. There he is, Kimi Räikkönen climbing into his Scuderia Ferrari. Can it be a red victory today? And there's Bottas. I think he qualified third. Yeah, so we're in fifth, so that's good. So let's get on down to the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Okay, then here is the race strategy, guys. It's 18 laps. I'm going to put 21 laps worth of fuel in the car. To be fair, that should help us out in the Red Bull, and apparently it looks like it might rain in the later stages of the Grand Prix, and I hope it does, to be fair, because I am very good in the wet here. So let's get the formation lap underway. Lewis Hamilton starts in P4, our championship rival. So we're all 2x2 for the first couple of rows. Two Ferraris on the front row, two Mercedes on the second, and two Red Bulls locking out the third row of the grid. So yeah, where everybody else will qualify, we will see in a moment, guys, after I've just thanked you all for watching the entire series, or watching up to this point, from if you're new subscribers or anything. So, yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to keep making this series, and there's still plenty more races to go. There's 9 races after this one, so, yeah, let's get on with, well, let's see where everybody else finds out for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Starts today from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, a Red Bull, and Ricciardo, Perez, Grosjean, Ocon, and Fernando Alonso, Kvyat, Hulkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, and Palmer, Van Dorn, Massa, Lance Stroll, and Carlos Sainz. Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay then, here we are. The lights are about to come on and go off for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We are underway here in the Hungaroring. We get off to an okay start there. So does Lewis Hamilton. He's already going to the inside of Sebastian Vettel, the championship leader, putting it all on the line here, as I'm putting it all on the line here. Don't crash into Kimi Räikkönen, please. Don't crash into Lewis Hamilton. He's made a good start there. It's me and Lewis, the title contenders. Off down into turn number 2 here in the Hungaroring, should I say, and we made it through turn 1 with a bit of contact over Lewis Hamilton. The two Ferraris are fighting, so we're leading the Hungarian Grand Prix after the first couple turns. That's absolutely fantastic. What a dive bomb. Well, I don't normally make dive bombs. Well, actually, yes, I do make dive bombs. So now we've got Lewis Hamilton right behind us. Can we settle into a rhythm and beat our fellow compatriot Lewis Hamilton to a race victory once again? Well, okay, guys, coming up to the end of the first lap, and yeah, it's early in the Grand Prix, but we seem to be gapping Lewis Hamilton. I don't know if he's got a problem in that car as we lead the first and opening lap of the Grand Prix. 1.2 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Can we keep this Red Bull on the straight and narrow and take our win on our debut with the Red Bull team? Just as Max Verstappen did, as we've run very deep into that turn there, turn 2. Virtual safety car. Okay, Lance Stroll is out of the Grand Prix. That's got to be a mechanical failure so early on.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low.
Yes, I know, me delta is too low. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Yeah, it ended and we're underway once again. That's absolutely fantastic. We've played that well where we've actually gained time on Lewis Hamilton, as we're down to third gear into first turn. So the third lap of the Grand Prix, this is going well. At one of my favourite Grand Prix on the calendar. Not as good as my home Grand Prix, I don't think. Well, of course, you have to have a sense of national pride, don't you? So, but to be fair, I really do like this Grand Prix, and we're running away with it so far. I've got a feeling Lewis Hamilton, guys, might have a problem with his car, because it's unusual for him to drop this far back, and I've not normally this quick in a Red Bull, but in a race situation, rain in just over 10 minutes time, that's actually fantastic, to be fair. But I think Lewis might have a problem with his car. It might be damaged front wing affecting him, and we all know you need some downforce in this circuit. So actually, let's have a
Hamilton is behind you. Our gap behind is 3.
another fastest lap of the race.
They're on old super softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:33.0.
Unusual for Lewis to be that slow here today. That's okay, so he must have some front wing damage from that little clash we had at turn 1, but not to worry for us. Look at that, guys. We set another fastest lap of the race as Lewis is dropping well back behind And I don't get what it is. 6.1 seconds the gap is now. He must have a problem in that Mercedes. But if the rain is coming, I'm going to stay out on older tyres, to be fair. So if the rain's coming, then I can just pit and get on some intermediate tyres. So actually, I need to check something. A race director. What's it on? Warning, yeah, Lance Stroll DNF, mechanical failure. How can you check? I thought you could check the difficulties of what it's on. I'm not going to simulate session, race settings, legends. So we are pulling away on pace, guys.
Okay, the pit window has opened. Pit window now open for you.
Okay, Sebastian Vettel has got around Lewis Hamilton, and that should surely close up the rest of the field. Yeah, the gap's coming way down to Sebastian Vettel here, so time to make a pit stop before he manages to catch us as we...
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Oh, why did I go too slow into the pit lane there? But it's a good job that we got that big of a lead over Sebastian Vettel. Come on, get us out. Don't hold me. Don't hold me. Don't hold me.
Go. Exit
What are
now.
you doing? Why did you do that? There was enough space. There was enough space between us all. Like, come on.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Yeah, I definitely will see these tyres through to the end now, but the gap between us and Sebastian Vettel is dramatically decreased because of you holding me in the pits. But thankfully he's being held up by Pascal Wehrlein in the Sauber there, so... Okay, as our teammate Daniel Ricciardo heads for the pit lane, I took the moment to check the replay and see if there was any damage to Lewis Hamilton's front wing. And there's quite a sizable bit of his end plate, or his end fence being knocked off. So, yeah, it is definitely affecting him downforce-wise. So, as we're in P number 4 now, with 2 cars ahead of us, is Ricciardo, well, not Ricciardo, Van Dorn and Kvyat. As we go up the inside of Van Dorn.
Access on fuel. Mix 3 is there if you need it. Mix 3.
That's good to know, Jeff. Mix 3 is available. As we've got Daniel Kvyat now to try and overtake. And, yeah, this Toro Rosso is going to be a bit tricky to overtake. No, actually, no. Well, he might be. He's pulling away, especially when it's not really an overtaking circuit here. I have to probably wait for him to leave to the pit lane. There's no go around the outside instead. Well, I don't know why I'm bothering to fight him because, well, I've got a lead to protect, haven't I?
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes. Our gap to first place is 5.1 seconds.
Sebastian Vettel sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as we go around Daniel Kvyat for P2. Now can we chase after Nico Hülkenberg in the Renault going long on a soft compounder tyre? Okay, so Hülkenberg is heading for the pit lane here in Hungary as we are going to retake the lead as we, well, throwing it around that final corner to not set the fastest lap of the race. But does Sebastian? No, he doesn't. That's good news for us, so all we need to do is keep it steady and try and keep Sebastian behind when he catches us. Oh, that's a bit of rain starting to fall, guys, here in Hungary. So it looks like we could go to a wet race, and if it does, I certainly am on for a very good finish here, because I am good in the wet on this game, and, well, here in Hungary as well.
On those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
Well, I know we're nowhere near the changeover point. It's just started raining. He wants to, decrease his lead to the... We've run wide down into turn 1. It's going to give the Ferrari a chance. Actually, not as much of a chance as I thought it was, but it's going to be closer. You know, I think it might be ready for intermediates. Yep, it certainly is. Don't lose the lead on your way in, James. Come on. Another warning for exceeding track limits. Nice one there, James, after sliding about through the turns. Don't spin it. Come on, James. Come on. It might be going slow into the pit lane here as we're sliding. Come on. Yep. Got to make sure we get down to 50 mile an hour speed limit. Yes, we do. 49 mile an hour coming into the pit lane as Kimi Raikkonen goes on the intermediate tyres. That's at least we're not going to be held by Vettel here. Come on. Get us out ahead of him. Come on. Yes. Exactly what we needed there. I didn't need to run rich mix. As Bottas goes on, this isn't good for some of the drivers here, so we're out ahead of Sebastian Vettel, which is good. Oh, we run very wide at top of the hill there as we're behind Valtteri Bottas as he's sliding in the Mercedes. I don't know why they didn't bring him in ahead of Lewis this time. I know it would have hindered Lewis a bit more as we exceeding track limits there again, but we're looking like we could be taking the championship lead if Lewis has a low enough finish. And with this rain, that might well happen. Daniel Kvyat is out of the Grand Prix as Bottas is holding up Sebastian Vettel. This is good news for us, good news. Ferrari should have stacked their drivers out, that's all I'm saying. It would have been better for him to stack the drivers than lose all this time out here. Oh no, both Williams are out of the Grand Prix now. Felipe Massa is out. That's 17 runners left and Lewis Hamilton is in P3. And he's got an issue with the car, so the championship at the minute, if it finishes as it does, it will be 1 point. But considering he's got issues with his car, if there's anybody near him, they might be able to get past him. Which means we'll be able to take the championship lead going into the summer break. Well, it won't really be a summer break, but you know what I mean. Grosjean's moved up to third place. He's passed Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, so we will take the championship lead as long as Lewis stays off the podium. This is fantastic. This is the best race we could have hoped for. It's all falling apart for Lewis, which I don't want it to fall apart for any driver, but it means that we could take the championship lead going into Spa. Okay then guys, the gap's at nearly 16 seconds as we're coming around to start the final lap of the Grand Prix here in Hungary. Yep, final lap of the race, and just like in the F1 Championship Edition, we look like we're set to win this Grand Prix. Let's hope it's not going to have any drama like we did in that particular video, but yeah, absolutely fantastic this race has been so far. Well, it's been all fantastic apart from being held in the pits by the team for Vettel coming down the pit lane when we could have got out ahead of him, but as we run wide there, that's not good. Nearly 17 seconds ahead of Sebastian Vettel through the middle sector for the final time. Okay, we've reached the final sector, the final couple corners. We're going to be coming around any moment now. There we go, there's the third to last turn. Now we're into the second to last turn as we run a bit deep. Red Bull has normally been very strong here in Hungary, and today they're going to take their first win in a while here in Hungary since I believe 2014 we win the Hungarian Grand Prix and take back the championship lead over Lewis Hamilton. Absolutely fantastic. 4 wins this season, our first, and with our debut with the Red Bull team. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's going to be an absolutely special Grand Prix win. This is, and yeah, there we are. We win our first race for Red Bull. We are on the podium. Absolutely fantastic. From P5, Grosjean in the Haas gets on the podium as well in P3 behind Sebastian Vettel. Nico Hülkenberg finishes in P5 after staying out as long as he did. That was actually quite good for Hülkenberg, but yes, exactly. There we go. Red Bull wins once again, and it's our first win in Hungary. Absolutely brilliant. That's gonna be one of my favourite victories for a long time. After the disappointment of missing out on the podium in Silverstone, we climb onto the top step of the podium with Sebastian Vettel and Romain Grosjean. So Lewis Hamilton ends up finishing P7. Alonso finally gets McLaren some points. Magnussen gets in the points. Ricciardo P4. Esteban Ocon on his return finishes P12. Raikkonen 15th after qualifying on pole and 3 cars out of the Grand Prix. So yeah, okay then, so here are the drivers' standings for the Hungarian Grand Prix, or after the Hungarian Grand Prix. Look at that. We move into first place in the championship by 8 points over Lewis Hamilton going into Spa, which is another good track of mine, and with this Red Bull car, there's no doubt that we can actually win that Grand Prix. We have a strong chance. We're going to have to fight the Ferraris there. We're still quite a ways off of Sergio Perez, well, Force India in the Constructors, but that's not too much of a worry because, well, look at what we did with Force India. 3 wins in that particular race. So there's the final race positions. Let's go back, see if we have any new information from the team. Okay, then here are our lovely resource points. Yeah, disciplinary thing. That was 2 warnings for exceeding track limits, and look at this, penalty free, yes, and fastest lap, and we are beating Daniel Ricciardo as our rival, and look at that, we're definitely on the way up as well. Even Ferrari looked at that and thought, yeah, we might want to sign him sometime, and yeah, this is our practice sessions, flashback triggered. Yeah, I might have used one in qualifying, but I'm not bothered about career score. Laptop, nothing to worry about after the Hungarian Grand Prix then, so everything seems okay. There's the championship standings once again. Let's just look at that before we move on to the next race. And yeah, only 3 points between Bottas and Raikkonen, so Battle of Fins is happening. And yeah, 2 points between Lewis and Sebastian, and we are leading the Drivers' Championship after that fantastic race here in the Hungaroring. So yes, let's get on with, I'll move on for the next Grand Prix, guys, and I will thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next Grand Prix.